Hi, guys. Welcome to yet another lovely episode of the Clear View podcast. I'm your presenter, Eustace Chandakaptula, aka International Managers. Today, we continue with our discography ranking series, episode number 4. Today, we rank one of Zambia's most beautiful, sweet singing sensations. Probably my favorite Zambian vocalist. Like, I'm a big fan, huge fan. I remember the first time I met him was in 2012 when I was still working in retail. So humble, so soft spoken with a good heart. Yeah, soft, very good human being. Very good vocally. Like he's been in the game for like 2 decades now, for like over 21 years, and he's been consistent for a period of over 20 years. Like you can imagine, guys, like doing something for like 20 years and you're always consistent and you always bring your A game to it, like you always top notch and you always deliver. It's not easy. All I can say is massive respect. Today's episode, I rank the discography of the one and only phenomenal Hamoba Chimuka. This one is very hard. Vintu vinangu nangutima vyamba nasaina fight. Yo, the discography is strong and all the albums are good. They're all classic. I don't even know how I'm going to do this, but I mean, we just have to do it. I'll try my level best. So basically, Hamoba burst onto the scene 21 years ago, 2 decades ago. I remember around 2002, if I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me right. Yeah, he started as a duo with Chatu in a group called Namanje. So the story is Hamoba and Chatu were both signed to Sling Beats. So they were on a mission to record solo albums. So Hamoba was working on his solo album. Chatu was also working on his solo album, but they recorded the song together and then the chemistry was undeniable. It was sweet. So they said, I think Sling Beats, the owner of Sling Beats, was like, "Why don't you guys become a duo, like record an album together? Because the chemistry is undeniable." So that was the birth of Namanje. What a beautiful idea! So it was so unexpected. So, but it happened. So yeah. By the way, R.I.P. Rest in peace, Chatu. Sadly, we lost him. So it's very sad. We lost him some years back, but the music lives on. So later on, after Namanje, Hamoba embarked on his solo career. Remember, he was recording his solo album. So after recording an album with Chatu, he recorded his own album. Like immediately afterwards, I think it was only after a year, after some months. Yeah. So Hamoba's albums include Kaspaka with Chatu, Shelela, Hamsway 2, Still Me, Teddy Bear Love, his most recent project. Like he's got a huge catalog. Like I'm not even going to talk about the features because when Hamoba features on a track and he's on a hook, you think that it's his song. So yeah, we get straight into the discography. So Hamoba's first album was a duo with Chatu. The title of the album is Ikaspaka. Chatu and Hamoba were called Namanje. So Namanje introduced us to Hamoba, like it introduced him to the mainstream. That's how come we knew of Hamoba. So Ikaspaka includes some of the following smash hits: Chimalita, Ikaspaka, the title track of the album, Mpaka Infa, To My Boys, Nimakondwela, Boza featuring Taitu, Sinazive, which is my favorite track of the album. Like this song has got good storytelling in it. Like it talks about two guys, you know what I'm saying? Like what Pitilokwa same, like a guy has got a girlfriend and then his girlfriend follows his friend, you know, that kind of situation, that awkward situation. So the storytelling was a bit ahead of its time. Like beautiful song. Yeah. So I love this song. I love this album. Basically, I gave it a rating of 9 out of 10. Like it's very hard to, it was very hard for me to rank this album because I love it. I love all the songs, and I grew up listening to these songs. So especially Chimalita, like Chimalita was a countrywide hit. It was a smash hit. It was banging on all radios. Ikaspaka was also a big song. Pakainfa, I think, even had a video, very beautiful song, very beautiful love song. Like you can dedicate this to your fiancé, your wife, very beautiful message in it. So I loved most of the tracks, so I gave it a rating of 9 out of 10. So after the success of Namanje, Hamoba embarked on continuing his solo career. So he released his debut album entitled Shelela under Sling Beats. Okay, so Shelela composes of some of the hit songs. Some of the hit songs include the title track itself, Shelela, Bisamtima, featuring Taitu, Oh My Sweetie, Mutima Umababa. I remember this song, Mutima Umababa. I think I was only like 10 years old, and the story was so good. Like I was imagining myself in that situation where he goes like he's got a colleague who's just joined at his workplace, and then the lover for the colleague is picking her up, and then it bends him, like it makes him feel bad. So I was imagining myself in that situation, like I'm young, but I was like, I put myself in that scenario. Like beautiful storytelling in this one. There's also Chimozi, like beautiful song. He dedicated this song to his mother. I love this song. Like may her soul rest in peace. Like this is one of the most beautiful songs you can dedicate to your parent. Like I love it. Like I still play it to this day. Like 20 years on, it still sounds fresh. There's Nikulu Lukile, Lelo Iliko, just to mention a few. So, this album gives you that feel factor. Like I literally grew up listening to this album. So for me, it means a lot. I love it. So whenever I listen to this album, it takes me back to my childhood memories. So I love it so much. So it was also hard to rank, but I gave it a 9 out of 10 as well. Like beautiful album. Like I love most of the songs on this album. Okay, so after the success of Shelela, Hamoba released his second studio album entitled Ham's Way. Ham's Way. Like one thing I credit Hamoba for is he switched his sound. He left Sling Beats and went to Roma side. Like that was a perfect timing, because if he released a third album under Sling Beats, he could have sounded maybe a bit monotonous. But kudos to the big man. He decided to switch camps and he went to Roma side. So this album is predominantly produced by TK Roma side, so it sounds a bit different. It gives it a refreshing, different sound. So yeah, this album was released in 2006. I remember musically, this album has aged perfectly well. Like if you're on a long journey, embarking on a journey somewhere, maybe from Lusaka to Kitwe, just play this album. You don't even need to skip any tracks, because all the songs are nice. It has no skips, literally no skips. Like it's just a beautiful body of work. Like the melodies became sweeter, the writing impeccable. Wow. For example, on a song called "You Hate Me," like it was a tribute to the late Daddy Zimas Chiba, he goes like, "Uyu mutima wanga sodi monga switch. You just can't switch on and off whenever you wish." Wow, impeccable pen game. So I feel like this album was also ahead of its time. The production, like it had elements of I like to call it tint reggae or something, like a bit of reggae-ish sound. Like an example I'll give of this one is Maroon 5 One More Night. Like yeah, it was so ahead of its time. Like Hamoba had his own sound on this album. You can tell, like, okay, when you play a song from this album randomly, like you can tell that this song is from Ham's Way. So it sounds so nice after 18 years. It still sounds nice, this album. Like you can't deny it. It's been 18 years, but it sounds like it was released yesterday. So some of the tracks on this album include Techintomfwa, Lekanikukonde, Onikonde featuring Israel. What a beautiful collaboration this one was. I love it. I think Israel and Hamoba should do an EP. What do you guys think? Because whenever these guys meet in the studio and make up a track, it's always a hit. I've never heard them miss when these two collaborate. So I don't know, guys. Drop your comments in the comment section. Do you think Israel and Hamoba should drop an album together? As for me, yes. Okay, so Iyobe is one of the songs. There's also Mufwaye, Tindona, You Hate Me, Chivava, beautiful song. Mpaleni featuring the late Joe Chiwangu, may his soul rest in peace. I love this song. Efyo Walenga featuring Fontike, like this song was one of my favorites of the album. I really loved it. Joy in My Life featuring Grant. Where's Grant? I haven't heard of Grant since this feature. So like there was also a track called Lizzie on this album. So All the songs were hits, and I think at that time in 2006, I think I was on in grade 8 or something. Yeah. All these songs had massive airplay on the radio. Like I heard all these songs on the radio. I remember my dad, salute Mr. Kaputula. He always bought music for me. Like he knew growing up, I was a loner, so he would buy music for me. He would buy me cassettes. So he bought this cassette for me, Ham's Way. I remember playing this song from start to finish without skipping any track. So there was a time the radio wasn't working well, the cassette compartment, but we still had access to radio. So I was surprised, like most of the tracks of the album were being played on radio. I think all of them were being played. So this song received massive airplay, like all the songs were playing on radio. And at that time, for you to have all your songs being successful singles on the radio, then it was a hit. So I gave this album a rating of 10 out of 10. There's nothing to take away from it. The production is top notch, the writing impeccable, the hooks infectious, so sweet, melodic, the features, they brought the A game. So I gave it a 10 out of 10, guys. I played this album after 18 years. I still felt the same way I felt when I played it the first time, but I even enjoyed it more this time because I matured, I grew older, and I could relate to the stories even better. I think it's true what they say that something beautiful ages fine, like it's timeless, like it ages fine, like it you can't take away anything from something beautiful. So this is a very beautiful album. I urge you guys to go to the streaming platforms and stream it. It's actually there on the streaming platforms, guys. Like it's a very beautiful album. Okay, Hamoba's next studio album is entitled Ham's Way 2. This is his third solo studio album, also recorded at Roma Side. I think this album is the most R&B sounding Hamoba I've ever heard. Like there are beautiful love songs, sweet melodies. The voice just became better and better. The production so R&B centric. It features smash hits such as Chalo, which has an iconic video, which has Shimumbi in it, and Bobunkosha in it. Very beautiful video. Yeah, I think this is the only song that sounds like tint reggae. This is the only song that sounds like it's from Ham's Way too. But the rest of the songs they sound R&B-ish. They are so different. Yeah, there's also Nasumina here. There's Niwe, Ninji Saine. There's Ndiwe featuring Chameleon. This is a guitar ballad. I think this is the only Hamoba ballad I've heard. Maybe there are some in other albums, but as far as I can remember, this is the first guitar ballad I've heard Hamoba do. There's also Tulansha Nye. I love this song. Like it's got a sweet hook, sweet melody on it. There's also Musunge Wino featuring Willie. I love this song. It's got a good message and it's got a good drum on it. Like the beat is so nice. Like it's an R&B beat with a hip hop kick to it. Like it reminds me of the production of the early 2000s where the beats are like hip hop-ish but have an R&B vocalist singing on them. So very good song. So I gave this album a rating of 9 out of 10, guys. Like it was so hard to rate. 9 out of 10. Okay, and then I think Hamoba went on a hiatus. He took a break from music, I think. Then he came back. He released his fourth album, predominantly produced at Obama Records. He wasn't really produced at Roma Side. So again, kudos to the big man. He knew when to switch sounds. So yeah, this one was produced at Obama Records. I think this is the most dynamic sounding Hamoba album in that it has different influences on it. It's got R&B. It's got Zambian Dunka. We like to call it Dunka, our native sound. Like this one had a variety of sounds. It's very dynamic, this album. So it features a smash hits such as Still Love You, featuring regular collaborator again, Israel. Guys, these guys owe us an EP. At least Hamoba Israel, do it for the culture. Give us at least an EP. Then there's Wisulo Muntu featuring JK. I love this song. Then A Little Prayer. This is my favorite track of the album. Yeah. Then there's You. Then there's Wandi. Then Ganshiri Naiwe. I love this song. I think this is the second guitar ballad Hamoba has in his discography. I love this song. Yeah. Yeah, so these are some of the hit songs of the album Still Me. Okay, so I gave this album a ranking of 8.5. Yeah. Not that it's not a good album, it is a very beautiful album, but this ranking, guys, gave me a headache. Like, I've been ranking this album for months, listening to the music for months and months, so I gave it a rating of 8.5. Beautiful album as well. Good in the beautiful, needed in the discography. Very important album too. Okay, Hamoba took another hiatus for music. He took hiatuses, eh? But luckily for us, the fans, early this year, I think January, Feb, he released an album called Teddy Bear Love, TBL, Hamoba's fifth solo studio album. This album is so refreshing. Like, I'm so inspired how someone can be so consistent for over 20 years doing something he loves, doing the thing he loves, like at the same level, like able to captivate hearts and give us sweet melodies after 2 decades and still sound hungry and wanting it more as if he's an upcomer. I'm like, wow, already established, but still giving it his all. This album has solid 20 tracks. Like, in this era, people have a short listening span, but I can guarantee you, these songs are all nice, and you can listen to them and you feel like they're only 5 because they are so beautiful and effortlessly, and there's no boring moment. Like, every moment on the album is beautiful. Like, it takes you on a ride. Like, it's very, very nice. Like, kudos, I salute. Like, it takes a lot to be in the game for 20 years and be as hungry as you were when you began and give us the best you can. Notes in this album to take, like, the production is top notch. CLB, give me the volume. Handled most of the production on this album. Yeah, so again, he knew when to switch his sound. Like, that's one thing I give kudos to Hamoba. Yeah. So this album has elements of R&B. It's got elements of amapiano, elements of Afrobeat. It's got elements of the Zambian sound. There's Kizomba, guys. You remember Kizomba sound? It's also on this album, guys. Very beautiful album. I think I say it still means the most dynamic album, right? This one is actually the most versatile Hamoba sounding album. You know, like, even the vocals, like, he just switched it up. I was expecting to hear Mutima Umababa style, but the man just switched it up. Like, he brought something different to the table. Like, it sounds so sweet, so nice. I'm like, okay, like, he sounds hungry, you know, like he's releasing his first album. In album number 5, after 21 years, guys. So, Charlie Bravo also handles some production on this album. Kekero assisted on the production and also has a feature on the album. So, some of the songs that I love on this album include Walivela, again featuring, you already know, Israel. At this point, guys, it's the third time I'm saying it. We need an EP from Israel and Hamoba. Another beautiful song, like, effortlessly, and this is like the opening track of the album after the intro, like, beautiful. Wow. Like, the intro is Teddy Bear Love, like, it's just 1 minute, is it 30 seconds to 1 minute ballad, and then it goes straight. The tempo goes high with Walivela featuring Israel. And then there's No More featuring Kekero. I love this song. There's Mukazi Wanga featuring Danny Kaya. There's Ninkana. This song features a plethora of rappers. Hamoba is just on the hook, and then he just lets the rappers take away the verses. You know, like, they take us on a ride. There's J-Max. There's Y-Celeb. I loved his voice. He came out nice. I love it. So many more rappers. It was more like a rap cipher built on a Hamoba hook. Catchy infectious hook. Ninka. Yeah. I beg your pardon. My voice is horrible. Yeah. So a cipher built on different rappers. A cipher built on Hamoba's hook, and then different rappers just do their thing. So basically, it's saying, I refuse poverty. I refuse not to succeed. So then the rappers tell their stories. Yeah. And then there's also Kadede, a sweet Tonga song. It features King Ilest, I think. Yeah. Sweet Tonga R&B song. Imagine an R&B song in Tonga. I love it. Yeah. There's also Yahweh. I love this gospel track. I think this is the best Hamoba gospel track ever. I love it. There's also Number One featuring Bushman. I love this song in that Hamoba sounds different and versatile on it. Like, I couldn't tell it was him. Like, he was rapping. I was like, okay, Hamoba can actually rap. So this is how it sounds when he raps. Listen to Bushman. Listen to Hamoba featuring Bushman. Number One, beautiful song. Yeah, there's also Tulo featuring Ranel Ozzy. I love this song, my favorite song, one of my favorite songs of the album. Ish, how many songs are my favorites on this album? I love the whole album. And then there's Kavulo, there's Maria featuring Slab D, there's Smiling, produced by TK Romacide. Like, guys, what a way to come back from a long hiatus. Like, there are many more songs, like 20 songs, and they're all nice and they're all beautiful, guys. Like, what a ride. Like, I gave this song a rating of 9.5. Like, I could have given it 10 out of 10, but Ham's Way, guys, for me, that's my favorite Hamoba album. Like, nothing beats Ham's Way, guys. Like, all the songs played on radio, I remember. I was young, but I still remember. Like, they all chatted on radio. They played. The videos were there. Like, Ham's Way, to me, hands down, is my favorite Hamoba album. But Teddy Bear Love is also a good album. Very beautiful body of work. Like, so inspiring. Like, after 20 years, you're still releasing good albums. Like, we're so humbled as your fans, and I hope you give us more. So 9.5. The overall ranking is as follows. In at number 6, Still Me with a rating of 8.5. In at number 5, Ham's Way 2 with a rating of 9. In at number 4, Shelela with a rating of 9. In at number 3, Ikaspaka with a rating of 9. So these three albums, this trio of albums, Ham's Way 2, Shelela, Ikaspaka, I gave them a rating of 9 because I couldn't separate. Like, I love them equally. They're all important to me, so I just gave them 9. Like, I was just being fair and honest and realistic. So 9 is fair, so it's a tie. This three album, it's a tie. And then in at number 2 is Teddy Bear Love, TBL, with a rating of 9.5, guys. Like, after a long hiatus, you release such a beautiful album, guys. Ish, it's admirable, guys. When I grew up, I want to be like Hamoba. And then my favorite album of Hamoba of all time is Ham's Way. I gave this one a rating of 10 out of 10, guys. Numbers don't lie. All the songs on this album played on radio, I remember. All of them. So I gave it a rating of 10 out of 10. Then I added the ratings and I found the average, and the average rating of Hamova's discography is 9.2. Beautiful. All the albums are classic. An overall rating of 9.2 out of 10 is like 92%, guys. That's a distinction. That's an A+. So classic, beautiful catalog. That was my ranking of Hamova's discography. I don't know if you agree with me or not. Drop your comments in the comments section. That was the Clear View podcast. Please share, like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Till next time, guys, take care.